Lord Almighty.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this Thanksgiving week edition of the Around the Ropes podcast, live from the from the Max and Rex Express Studios, because I forgot which side it is in this room. And guys, you can always find us. We're on the new ATR network. You can find us on Facebook or on YouTube. You name it, we're there. First, let me send it over to the man to my right. You hear him do the voice of Creator Pro, Immortal Championship Wrestling, Reality Fighting, Deadlock Pro. Also, if you're an ordained minister,
Wrestle Pro.
I'm sorry, I didn't add that.
Yeah.
The one, the only Ryan Peterson. Ryan, what's going on?
Oh, whoop-diddy-dee. Happy day for me. It's another episode of the Around the Ropes podcast. Yippee! Alrighty.
And guys, the other person who has joined us, you've seen her on here plenty of times before. She is the voice of Backstage for Dynasty Wrestling. She is your friend and our friend, the one, the only Miss Billy. Billy, how you doing tonight?
Hey guys, I'm doing well. How are you?
Yes.
I'm ready to talk some wrestling, and yeah, let's do this. Why not?
Yeah, that makes one of us.
Okay, I'm trying to okay, to be honest, I'm trying to pump myself up because I'm kind of like exhausted and drained, but let's do this.
Guys, we had a lot of fun wrestling, both on the independent level and on the big boy level, so to speak. Can't believe I just said that. But
Big person.
Yes. Coming from the shortest person in this room, yes. But guys, let's actually start off where the three of us were on Saturday, Immortal Championship Wrestling. Start right off with there. Ryan, I'll throw it to you first. Obviously, you were in the ring. You were the ring announcer. Looking at it from 30,000 feet above, what were your thoughts on the show itself?
I was the announcer? My goodness gracious. First of all, I actually liked the venue that it was in, Elevate CNY. The staff was great. Very accommodating. And the turnout, I'm dying right now. The turnout was actually pretty solid. I think they said they even drew more this time than last time that they were there.
It felt like that from me. I was at the last one there too, and it felt like there was a little more this time.
But all in all, it was a great card from start to finish, which, by the way, folks, you can watch it on Premiere. It became official Sunday, I believe it was.
Sunday night, yeah.
Okay, now.
I've watched it already, so yeah.
I know you have.
But Billy, what about you? What were your thoughts on the entire card as a whole?
Oh, it was great. I mean, I never have a bad time at an Immortal show. Like they're my home, man. They were my first local wrestling shows that I went to, and I'm never disappointed. So yeah, I had a blast.
It was definitely.
I really liked seeing my UWE guys in the ring too. That made me happy. It's so funny for me to watch the evolution of, like, you just had the Stompers on the other day. It's so cool to see that evolution, because 2 years ago they were sitting in the front row with me at Immortal shows, and now they're wrestling in the ring, and I'm just so proud of all those guys. And Brother Jonas is awesome. It's just a fun little group. And then of course I'm a diehard Immortal fan, so I just love everybody there.
It's actually funny, Billy, you brought up Brother Jonas. He just got announced today for being a candidate for a possible award.
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, they have 2 awards out right now through Immortal. I think what was it? Just Star of the Year and then Breakout of the Year.
Yep.
So currently on the screen right now, Billy, it's the candidates for the 2023 ICW Breakout of the Year. You have Adriana Fury, Sebastian Braun, Pat Sawyer, Trevor Terry, and Brother Jonas.
Yes.
And you can easily make the argument, I think, for any of them.
Yeah, they've all made waves. Adriana probably a little less, because, well, I mean, honestly, there's just not as much women's interaction that happens, because it's just how it works. But But like the past couple shows, the past 6 months, really, she's really started to make an impact on there.
Well, it's funny you mentioned, women, not enough women and whatnot. I have a very strong feeling we might be seeing a gnome come to Immortal.
Really?
Is it?
Just throwing in a little bit of teaser. I'm not going to say the name.
Okay. I think I know who you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But
I probably don't, but that's okay. I like surprises.
You might, but
what I was just going to say.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Billy.
No, I was just going to say the Immortal show was awesome. Had a blast. Heath was super cool to talk to. I was entertained from top to bottom as always.
Hey man.
I was just going to say,
I got keys.
For me, if I had to, and I'll ask both of you guys this question as well. For me, if I had to place a bet on who I think would win Breakout Star of the Year, I'm going to be straightforward. To me, I think it's going to be Brother Jonas. You saw it not at this show. You saw it at the last Westmoreland show in September when the crowd started chanting his name. He basically has the crowd at the palm of his hands.
Yeah, there were Brother Jonas chants this time too.
But I think the thing is, the reason why I'm going back to that one, that's when it really got started.
Yeah, that was like the first time. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he's great. Sebastian Braun has done some interesting stuff. As a lady, I'm supposed to be like, oh my, he's so amazing. Yeah, it's a good group. Oh, and then Trevor is freaking awesome. So yeah, it's a great group. And then I saw their other award thing is for, I think, is it Person of the Year or
hold on. Am I allowed to say my pick, John?
Yeah. I was going to let you guys give your pick.
Well, I mean, originally John wanted me to sit on the sideline tonight, just pull him at the curtain a little bit.
Ryan, go.
Wow. Jeez. My pick, honestly, especially after what I saw on Saturday night, my pick is Trevor Terry.
It's a good. I mean, they are all very, very plausible picks,
and especially that Terry was in a very high-paced, high-profile match with Ray Jazz and Facade.
Mm-hmm.
But all five of them are easily arguable, contenders in this, award per se. Now we can go on to the next award, John.
Oh, and real quick though, but the only one we didn't mention, Pat Sawyer. I mean, he literally is breaking out. Like he's that's the only one we didn't mention in that whole thing. So yeah, he's obviously a huge star himself.
Oh, and that's the thing with any of these. And then for Superstar of the Year, obviously you see it on there. You got Big Time Bill Collier, your current women's champion Danny Moe, your current ICW heavyweight champion Garrett Holiday, your Northeast champion Shane Stenson, and Bin Hameen. So, Billy, I'll ask you first. Who would you think out of those is your Superstar of the Year?
You want to know who I voted for? You want to know?
Can I take? Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to tell. I honestly don't know who's going to take it. I'm assuming Garrett. But I don't care. Fuck it. I voted Bill. Big Time Bill.
Okay.
I think I love that he's back. I was worried that he wasn't going to be an Immortal anymore. I think he's a great fit. I think the crowd loves him. He always puts on a good match.
We'll talk more about that in a little bit. Yeah,
and I mean, I want to say Ben Hameen. I really do, but
I mean that's John's number one pick.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Hey, see, someone give me a thumbs up.
That joke is getting old already.
Well, especially when I did see you at Westmoreland when he came out, him and Blaze. I see you going, Allahu Akbar, my hero.
I would have to agree. I think it's good. I'm thinking it's one of two people. I'm thinking it's either Garrett Holiday or it's going to be Shane Stenson.
Not Steve? Ah.
No, not Steve, Shane. And I say that because look at Shane's progression this year.
Mm-hmm.
He in the last, I would say really coming out of the first Cobleskill show in July, when he initially turned heel, he's really come into his own.
Yeah, but I think a category like, and I adore him. Trust me, like the stuff he's doing is brilliant. I love it. But I think almost with that category, you want somebody that's been around for a while. Like, I don't know. When I think of the top person of the year, it's hard to think of someone that still he has so much more room to grow. He's still going to go so much farther.
Yeah, I honestly think it's going to be either Shane, especially with progression. That dog collar match that he had with his father, Chip, and Cobleskill, to then the next month defeating Dirty Dango and Utica on the first live pay-per-view, and then seeing him progression, winning the King's Ransom, then the ICW Northeast title, then defending it against the former champion this past Saturday night in the Lumberjack match and successfully retaining it. But also, I don't agree. But the other champion, Garrett Holiday, who defeated Bin Hameen back in Cobleskill in July, and then defended the title on numerous occasions against world famous Cheeseburger back in Utica, Eddie Edwards at the first Westmoreland show, Ichiban back at Cobleskill again, and then just recently, world class Channing Thomas. All of those challenges, very worthy competitors, but Garrett Holiday was able to retain the title out of all of them. Yeah. So it's a tough one.
I think that's what's going to end up happening with a lot of these awards. Obviously, we'll get more of these awards will be announced in the days to come, but it's going to be very telling. And more than likely, if they follow from last year, the winners will probably be announced at this show right here.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, usually it is around then. I think is when the awards come out.
That's when the physical awards will be handed out. But I think that Which
do they always do physical awards? Did they do them last year? I don't know if they did physical last year. Did they?
They did. I should know. I announced that show.
I figured, Ryan.
Speaking about Superstar of the Year, Garrett Howard is actually in the chat right now.
Ah.
Yes, you did. What's up, champ?
How's the coffee?
Yes, Garrett, how's the coffee? Which, by the way, folks, hold on one second. I went graphic crazy right now.
That worked out well.
You can actually buy our coffee. We have it on sale right now, $10 right there. And it's fantastic coffee. All three of us on the screen have had it.
I literally just ran out of my bag this morning. I'm not lying. Like I just told them that before this started.
You can have it. You can have it both hot and cold.
We also have my sister checking us out tonight.
Oh, hey, what's up, Jen? There's a consumer review right there. The coffee is really good. There you go.
Coffee is really good.
Oh, and apparently,
it's a Billy connection, brah. It's not. It's I love you. You know it.
So
I gave money to Father Derek this time. Like,
oh jeez,
come on. But yeah, the Bill and Billy thing. Come on.
So I'm actually gonna take initiative on this one. Yeah, I'm taking the initiative, John, because it's not the Around the Rose podcast starring John Blaine. It's
Ryan,
co-host show.
You don't have to explain yourself. Go.
I just want to make sure that the viewers know. So, out of this past, oh, you're in trouble, Billy. You're in trouble. So I'm gonna ask the both of you, and I'll answer last. Out of everything that transpired on Saturday night, what are a few takeaways that you can? What are the few things that you can take away from that make you go, wow, that kind of blew you away? If you had to pick 3 moments from Redemption 3, not Immortal Things 3, Redemption 3.
I was shocked that they let you announce it again. Hey!
Yeah, and that's why you're on that side of the barricade. So
I'm kidding. I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
So am I, Billy. To be honest, I'm surprised myself.
No, you did a great job, though, dude. Seriously.
Well, considering what was going on that day. Yeah. But again, what are a few takeaways that you can, take away from Redemption 3? Like key bullet points that blew your mind. John, let's start with you.
I think for me the biggest thing is you got to look at the tag team division. I'm a very big proponent of tag team wrestling, and we saw it Saturday night with Nachi Mafia taking on the Sons of Allah. And first of all, I think the Nachi Mafia to me are incredibly over.
Oh yes,
stir the sauce.
All 1,000 pounds of it.
I think. Well, you have those two. They also had on the other side. You had Skyros and Stone taking on Edge of Hope.
That was a great match.
Team friendship.
Which the only thing I'm just confused by, and Ryan, maybe because you're in the industry, you can kind of explain a little bit, the ending of that match.
Okay. So, for those that didn't watch the pay-per-view yet, not to spoil anything, but it already happened. So, Skyros went to go for his, normal suplex finish onto. It wasn't Richter. It was the other guy. I don't remember which one it was in the match. It wasn't Richter. It was the shorter guy on the tail.
One of the guys from Edge of Hope.
Thank you. Not Sarah Rain though. As we was going for the pinfall. Matt. No. Oh, sorry. You're right. It was Matic.
It was Matic. Yeah, Matic was the other one in the match.
Thank you. I completely wow. Matic. He was going for the pinfall 1, 2, 3, but at the same time, Skyros' shoulders were also down, resulting in a double pin. So, obviously, in a double pin, referee is confused, saying, "What the hell just happened?" And then out comes Mike King and Chip Stetson, talking to the referee, what happened, blah, 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 whatnot. And they made the executive decision that due to the result of what happened, the titles will be held up effective immediately. And on February 10th, with John, if you can pull up that graphic one more time.
Absolutely. Give me 2 seconds. I'm just looking at the comments.
Thank you. On February 10th, Immortal Combat 5 from OASJ High School back at St. Johnsville.
I like that venue.
Great venue, by the way. Great place.
I believe that, if I'm not wrong, I think that might be the home of the Cougars.
I
remember taking a picture there.
Rawr. Damn it! I'm trying to keep my train of thought.
All right, sorry.
So on February 10th, it'll be the same 4 competitors. It'll be Team Friendship, and yes, that is their team name of Skyros and Stone, against taking on Edge of Hope for the vacant ICW Tag Team titles in a ladder match, which I don't think that's ever happened in Immortal, has it, Billy?
Oh, you can't. Okay, I am no historian, first off. So, I don't think I have seen a ladder match in Immortal.
Garrett, if you're
I'm
still
pretty sure there have been, though. Garrett, yeah, chime in, man. I'm pretty sure there have been.
Actually, not only is Garrett in the room now, but Mike King is also in the room.
What up,
hey,
Mike?
what's up, Mike? Maybe you can confirm that for us, Mike. Has there ever been a ladder match in Immortal?
I feel like I heard about some before I was around.
Technically not the first.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well,
intrigued.
Thank you, champ. But yeah, that's gonna be a great matchup. And sorry, John, continue your thoughts.
No, but like I said, I said this. I've said this for a while now. I think when you look at the Immortal Tag Team division as a whole, it is, you're not going to be the champion and get away with it scot-free. Let me put it that way. When you got teams like Edge of Hope, Sons of Allah, the Nazi Mafia, Skyros and Adam Stone. Eventually, you know, when Adam Stone's other partner, Marcus Zeal, I think his last name is.
Yeah.
Power Supply. You got Power Supply. I'm drawing a blank now on a few other teams. But it is one of the most stacked tag team divisions, even in independent wrestling. And then you also have I don't think
it's
they're
a
there
good
anymore.
variation too. Like there's a lot of different styles within that tag division, which
Exactly.
I like. Unfortunately, you get a lot of. It seems like with a lot of wrestling, you get a lot of the same kind of.
It's not the same cookie cutter.
Not every team is the Young Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like not every team has to do super kicks every 5 seconds and big flips, but some of them are really, really good at it. You know, and I like seeing the diversity of the types of wrestling and the like gimmicks and the archetypes and stuff. It's more fun.
Actually, to answer your question about the whole thing about it being the first ladder match, the King's Ransom.
Oh, okay.
It is, yeah. Oh, yeah. Duh. Wow.
But this year, if I remember correctly, it wasn't a ladder match though.
No, it was an elimination match.
That's why I'm not remembering, because I wasn't there for that match. That was like right before I started coming to Immortal.
And that was where Shane Stetson regained the King's Ransom briefcase and cashed in later on that night.
Oh, with the most recent one, not
the
last
one. Yeah.
Right.
But no, so I think for me, the first thing will be the tag team division. Billy, what about you? As I'm trying not to die right now.
What was the question again? I'm so sidetracked.
What was the one thing what's the one thing that you can take away from Redemption 3? If you had to pick one thing. I know I said 3 originally, but that's gonna take too damn long. So pick one thing.
You know what? The first thing I think of is Little Mean Kathleen is literally half of my size. I almost stood up when she walked out to be next to her. And I'm terrified of that chick. Like, holy crap. But congrats to Danny on retaining, by the way. That was an awesome match. Yeah, dude, for real. She's like, rah! I can't even like get that guttural.
Yeah.
But it was just a great card from start to finish, man. I had a blast.
Brian, what about you?
I'm actually breaking my own rule. I got 2 things to take away from, and one of them, I'm very surprised you didn't say this, Bill Lee. So, the semi-main event, 2 big beefy boys known as Heath and Big Time Bill Collier.
It's all a blur right now.
First of all, I said this since the first day I met Bill. How in the ever-loving fuck is he not signed anywhere? He's so damn good.
Just to chime in on that for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
One thing about him that I think personally that makes him good is he plays the big guy perfectly. He does more of the ground and pound.
But occasionally he throws in those random moves that you wouldn't expect. But yeah, he knows what he's good at and he works with what he's got and it excels. Like that's all. I think that's the cliche thing to say, right? Like every good wrestler is just themselves dialed up to 11. And so he knows what he can do and what he can't. Like, and I love it.
Now, when I back in February, when I finally got to work with Bill at Immortal Kombat 4, it was him against another person who I believe should get signed in Spencer Slade.
That was like, I remember Mike King pulling me aside because someone was chatting with me during the main event of that show. And Mike King pulls me aside and goes, "You need to pay attention to this. This is like a pay-per-view level match that we're getting right now."
It was. And
I went back and watched it again. It was amazing. It was amazing.
So putting Bill Collier against Heath.
Going back to the
briefcase.
That makes
new
sense.
ladder. Gotcha.
But with Big Bill, if there's one thing I can say, Bill is the big guy. He doesn't play. Yep.
It is exactly. Yeah.
But and which we saw, Big Bill, victorious over Heath. Hey man, But great match between those two. And then the last thing I got to take away from that is the main event, where world-class Channing Thomas, on loan from the Dallas wrestling office,
Looking regal.
Taking on the modern-day outlaw and the current ICW heavyweight champion, Garrett Holiday. In my opinion, holy shit. I mean, obviously, you see the Dallas wrestling style that, Channing Thomas brought to the table.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have, the same, as they say, like the upstate New York-esque, training that Garrett Holiday, has, two different styles meshing, and it worked out beautifully. And obviously, Channing Thomas trying to, pull a fast one and, hold the ropes on Garrett, try to go for the cover while the feet are on the ropes, and he went, and he thought he won. But out comes Chip to restart the match, and then Garrett, regained the title.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, thinking everyone's going home happy, but then all of a sudden Channing Thomas beats the ever-loving crap out of him. But then who comes out? Billy's favorite wrestler, big time Bill Collier, running through, and I can hear him go, "You motherfucker!" Like running through, scaring off Channing Thomas. And then the final scene that you see on the pay-per-view is this graphic. Big time Bill Collier, the man who never lost the title in the first place, staring down the current champion.
Eyeing that belt for sure.
And I think what made it even more memorable in my end was after Bill left, was leaving the ring, trying to give, Garrett, his flowers. You hear the entire crowd chanting, Collier versus Holiday,
Mm-hmm.
Collier versus Holiday. They want to see this matchup.
Absolutely, they do. It's grit and heart on both ends, and I think it's gonna be a banger. Like, it's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen. It's gonna be great. But I'm worried
about. Garrett, if you're listening, I'm putting you over.
Well, how can you not?
No, the running joke is whenever he comes on here for like interviews and whatnot, I'm never available. Because apparently him and I have heat, apparently.
Nice.
Yeah, I got heat with a modern day outlaw. Whoop de fucking do.
I really feel for you, bro.
Yeah, that's fine. I bribed him with 2 bags of coffee. There you go.
The only thing I'll say, though, and obviously we did have Big Time Bill Collier on the show, God, probably, I think when they announced that he was coming back to Westmoreland 2, as I call it. It was the second Westmoreland.
I think it was right before the Cobleskill show or after?
No, Westmoreland.
No. When they made the announcement, I think it was before the Cobleskill show.
What? That built? Yeah, I think so.
That's what I'm trying to say, John.
Yes, and what's funny is you can go back and watch that interview. He actually calls out Garrett Holiday.
Yes, he did, and that right there kind of elevated that even more.
Hold on.
Oh crap! What now?
I know you would, Ryan. My statement was made backstage. Just an FYI, you won't see it until its release.
Uh-huh. I know what he's referring to. I know exactly what he's referring to.
Okay.
But just like that, I'm not allowed to say on air.
Okay. And Patrick actually chimes in here.
You're not biased at all. Nope, not at all.
Nope,
Never,
not at
Patrick.
all.
No.
But I think the other thing.
But I agree. Garrett is a great champion. So.
I will put him over constantly, despite some people thinking that I cried when he won the championship. Ryan.
That's not me. That's half of the locker room, dude.
Yeah, and who started that joke?
Oh, definitely not me.
Speaking of him winning that championship, that was that person that he won it from was definitely another surprise situation at the show on Saturday.
Yes.
And Hameen's new reveal.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wait. Who's spray tan?
My guess is probably
the champ. The champ. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
yeah, it was Channing Thomas.
And time. All right, we've gotten off the rails.
Billy, it was Channing Thomas that Mike was talking about.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, when I saw Channing Thomas, I got Rick Rude vibes to me.
Oh, I loved it. I said it. I felt it was like almost regal.
But Channing Thomas, definitely one of the top up and comers in the New England scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously relatively known in Limitless, Beyond, Chaotic.
I had
very
seen
talented.
him wrestle in some other promotion, and I cannot figure out where it was, but I know I've seen him before.
Oh no, he's been around. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike.
It's wrestling. It's half the people backstage got their spray tan on. What are you talking about?
I would say, Ryan, isn't that what you looked like an orange on Saturday?
Well, first of all, get your days right, John.
Saturday. But going back, yes.
See, John, that's why you stay on that side of the barricade, while talented individuals like myself are actually in the ring and actually making money, while people like you spend money to see people like me.
Okay, hold on.
Now you know he's boasting because nobody makes money on the independent wrestling scene.
Hold on. Ryan.
Billy.
Ryan, you said that I stand on the one side of the barricade? Well, I'm here to tell you now, buddy. December 9th, my ass will be in the ring.
Oh,
here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. It's Jersey. There are no barricades. That doesn't count.
But I will be in the ring.
Through the ropes, though.
Just don't trip getting in, John. Although if you do trip, please make sure there are video cameras watching for blackmail.
It's going to be a streaming network.
Oh God! So anyway,
just don't squawk while wearing a dress.
That's like a normal Saturday night for John. Anyway, guys. Anyway, Redemption 3. You got anything else to take away from it, other than a great event?
Okay, I'll ask you guys both this question. Match of the night.
Oh, crap!
Don't do that.
I got 2.
Okay, 2 matches of the night then.
I mean, if Billy has 1, that's fine. I'm just saying for me, I got 2.
I just don't want to pick. But no, it.
Matches 1 through 9.
The lumberjack match was really good. I was just distracted by all the lumberjacks so much, like because I was in the front row, so like they're right there, so I missed a lot of the action. I think. And Garrett, your match was awesome, but come on, Bill and Heath, duh.
Actually, I would have to agree. That's my Brian. I told you that before we went live tonight. That was my match of the night.
My match of the night was definitely Bill and Heath, but also the main event with Garrett and Channing. Which again, folks, you can watch the entire show of. Well, see, Pat, you're a referee. You count.
He's an everything, isn't he? At this point.
Yeah, he's pretty much holding that ring on his back. Well, one of the ring poles on his back. But anyway, you can catch the entire.
I know.
It's not. Hey, I said your match.
I'm still in be nice mode from work and children.
Anyway, folks, you can catch the entire.
Oh my God.
Oh God. Yes, Charlie
That
winning the 24/7 title.
How many times did it change hands on Saturday?
3 that I can remember.
3. I only count 2. Oh no! 1, 2.
It happened.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, 3. You're right. Two of them were on the pre-show, and one of them was during intermission.
But congrats to Charlie.
Yeah, congrats, Charlie.
Yeah, hey, it's gonna be. I've said this for a while now. What they're doing with the 24/7 title is really
interesting.
Mike, I'm glad you're able to watch us for a little bit. Go enjoy the cookie and the gummy.
But anyway, folks, you can catch Redemption 3 live on Premier Streaming Network, as well as, I believe, previous Immortal Championship Wrestling events, including its first ever live pay-per-view, This is Immortal. And also, if you haven't subscribed to Premier Streaming Network, what the hell is wrong with you? It's, my opinion, the best streaming service out there. It is one of the better streaming services out there because you get thousands and thousands of hours of content.
It's a great deal.
It really is, too.
And one more thing I'm going to mention after I'm stopped hacking up a lung. I was watching it back on Sunday after I finally woke up, and I'm watching back, going through the matches, and I'm at the point where it's the last man. Well, what was supposed to be the last man standing match, but then became the I Quit match.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching the pay-per-view. I'm watching the match. Great match, by the way. I'm definitely not taking anything away from either of them. But all of a sudden, I hear a certain Billy Ann Wolf gets mentioned on commentary.
Super fan Billy Ann Wolf.
Well, it was bound to happen eventually, my big mouth.
Oh.
Wait, what happened? What did I do?
Because when you gave the chair to Pat,
Tony
mentioned you by name and said Superfan Billy Ann Wolf.
Nice. Thanks, guys.
We actually have some breaking news right now.
Yes.
Courtesy of Chip Stenson.
Oh, look at that. ICW Newsflash. A return to Schenectady County in 2024. Stay tuned for date and location to be announced real soon.
Are you directly trying to go straight to my heart? Oh, yes.
Breaking news right here, guys. Looks like Immortal is returning to Schenectady
County.
Yes.
Schenectady County. But that's basically just Schenectady.
Tomato, Nassau, Suffolk, who cares?
It happens to be right next to my county, so we're good with this.
Yay! Easy travel for you. Yay!
If anybody ever wants to put something in Saratoga County, let me know.
Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. Hint.
Hey, you never know what's going to happen, but let's keep things moving here because we got a lot more to get to tonight.
Yes, we're switching gears now.
What that was such a good lead-in, and
not a bad dad joke right there, but yes, guys, Full Gear also happened.
Not the bad dad jokes that you and I had on the ride up there. Which, gonna pause the wrestling for a second, folks. Imagine us doing a ride-along video. Actually,
no.
Don't.
That would never see the light of day.
Nope.
Let's get into what happened at Full Gear.
Yes.
AEW's one of their big 4 pay-per-views that you can call it.
Mm-hmm.
And oh god, great, Ryan. You said that about doing a ride along, and
oh no,
do it.
Nope.
No.
Anthony, absolutely not. No,
I've made some really. I'm not gonna lie. I've been super slap happy and like exhausted driving back from Jersey, and I've made some pretty funny videos by myself, just driving up the Northway.
Oh no, trust me, you don't want to hear our ride along.
Okay, Ryan, he did say please.
Oh. You've grown up so much.
Well, we'll take it into consideration. Apparently, Anthony.
No.
You see. But anyway, Full Gear.
Yes, that's the other event that happened on Saturday over in California.
California.
And I'll ask the same question I did like I did with Immortal. 30,000 feet above. Overall thought on the pay-per-view. Billy, I'll throw it to you first.
Timeless. Tony Storm. That was my highlight for the whole night. And all the blood, of course. But
we'll get to that in a bit.
Yeah, it was funny because it was funny because I was at Immortal, so I wasn't watching it live, but my 15-year-old Winston, he was watching it live, and he's texting me, and the service there was horrible, so like every once in a while I would get something. But he's like, Mom, it's no joke. Like, it's a lot of blood, and it's pretty disgusting. And I was like, in a good way? And he said, permission to curse? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, hell yeah, it was. So it was an awesome match too. But yeah, I was just so happy for Toni Storm. That was my big pop of the night. So, and the way she cheated was just beautiful, using her butt. It's great.
I mean, at one point she had to, fix the pad because it was almost falling out of her.
Her tights saved it. That fishnet saved it, but it was pretty funny that it was pretty obvious. I'm like, yep, Aubrey totally doesn't see that.
Nope, she does not see that at all.
That is just part of her gear.
I will say this much, though. I love what they're doing with Toni now. I love the fact that they're giving her
letting her do her thing, and it's awesome.
And the Butler part with
Luther.
Luther. I'm sorry, you took him. Basically, he was a no-namer. Well, let me back.
Oh no.
No.
Doug.
Now that's what I'm saying. I'm backtracking here for a second.
In AEW, in like the big, definitely not a no-namer in wrestling in general.
Oh yeah, but the character that they presented him as, he wasn't on TV that frequently. When he was doing the stuff with
Serpentico.
But the one thing I like is that they're kind of, like I said before, they're giving Toni something to do. And now, realistically, think about it. I think her and Hikaru Shida now are tied for most women championship belts now in AEW.
Yes,
that's true now. But there's still, I think you could argue the fact that originally she was just interim champion, so they could technically say that Shida. I don't know.
I'm sorry. I think that whole interim thing that they did.
I know, but I'm saying some people, the trolls. Hi guys. Somebody's gonna say that. That's just a fact. So
yeah, no, I can see that. We saw it in WWE with her, and they weren't having her do anything. The biggest thing I still remember
best thing she did with WWE was the Mae Young Classic.
Yeah.
And that was God she got on that, because I think that really put her in the spotlight for everywhere else. But I mean, that's where I fell in love with her.
Well, I mean, people forget she was also in the early days of NXT UK.
True.
She was NXT UK Women's Champion.
I'm saying she was the early days of it.
No, I'm saying she was a champion there too.
Yeah, and I think she took the belt off of Rhea, or Rhea took the belt off of her. I don't remember.
I think
it was Rhea took the belt off of her.
I'm really disappointed that I don't know for sure.
No, I'm sorry, no. She took it off of Rhea, because I remember back at Evolution 2018, Rhea Ripley wrestled in a dark match against Dakota Kai, and she was the champion.
Yeah, no,
because that was when they just finished the tournament, the UK Women's Tournament.
Yeah, I'll say this much. I missed the whole NXT UK thing. I think the last thing I heard is they're doing an NXT Europe.
It's still in the works, but we're getting off track here.
Yeah, we're getting off track here. Let's get here. Yeah.
Before we leave Toni Storm completely, I would love to accept applications for my very own Luther. If someone could just carry me around occasionally, bring me anything I need, slip me a shoe on occasion.
And a
That
pan.
is all.
But yeah, the other big thing also is we have a new TBS champion.
Loved it. And I'm a huge fan of Chris Statlander. But what Julia Hart's done, and she's officially the youngest champion from AEW now.
Yep.
Like, she's done such an amazing transformation in the past year, and I love it. Like, she could have easily had a great run, I think, with the whole cheerleader gimmick. So the fact that she's been handed this really awesome thing and ran with it. And I posted about this on social media about, I totally popped for Sky Blue's new music because it's Butcher Babies, and I was a huge Butcher Babies fan. Chick metal. So that was awesome. Speaking of transformations, that whole, I don't really understand all of what's happening there with Sky and Julia. Like, I'm still kind of confused, but
I've heard rumblings of possibly, because I remember at one point, Will Nightingale was also doing the makeup thing.
Yeah, she was only like half evil though. She would only had it on one eye.
Yeah. And I think from what I heard, supposedly they were setting up something between the three of them. But obviously those talks kind of fell through. We do have some comments coming in here before we dive more into AEW. Of course, the champ has to write a dissertation, so I'll let you guys read it.
You want me to read it?
Whoever wants to read it, go right ahead.
All right, guys, I'm out. I didn't take a cookie or a gummy, but your boy is tired. John, it's okay if you voted for Ben. I know he's your favorite. And Billy, again, it's all good. I know where I stand if a match happens. Ha ha ha, just kidding. And Ryan, I should be on soon. Make sure you're not. Just kidding. Thanks for the baseball card and baseball card. I got a penny for it. Oh, bummer.
Oh, that son of a bitch. I forgot about that.
And we have some more comments come in here. Fan of the show, Merck, checks in and goes, guys, hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. And remember, always keep your family close because tomorrow is never a promise.
Thanks, Mark.
And Mark, back at you. We'll definitely get into some Thanksgiving talk towards the end of tonight's show. And of course, the champ also chimes in. I'm okay. I'm just
happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, champ. But as far as with Julia Hart,
oops, sorry.
The question I want to bring up to you guys now: does this put Chris Statlander now in position to possibly go after the AEW Women's title?
Yes,
I really hope so.
I'm just saying. To me, it's almost like
have been for a while now.
To me, it's like, okay, she drops the TBS title. I'm in the same boat with you guys. I hope this next step is for her is going after the women's title. I could see her and Tony having good matches. I really could. And it'll also be a story there, to say the least.
Yeah.
Now the question is who would be a good first opponent for Julia, in your guys' opinion?
I think you need to feed her some people first, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, let her build up even more wins. And I don't know who's going to come in and be maybe it could be Willow. Because there's still that connection.
If they really want to pull the trigger, maybe Billy Starks.
Yeah, I don't know if she's ready, but
I'm not saying that'll be a 20-minute barn burner.
No. I mean, like, I don't know if she. Yeah.
Ooh, here's an interesting question. Is the TBS title more important than the Women's World Championship?
Yeah.
It definitely feels more significant, and I think that's all mostly because it's mostly Jade Cargill's reign is why. I mean, I think she gave it prestige, and it kind of did take away from the women's, especially, and the women's kind of, and I hate to say this because I absolutely love Thunder Rosa, but I think a lot of that happened with the women's championship because of what happened with Thunder Rosa having to drop it in the interim championship thing happening with Toni Storm. It was like, oh, come on, this is all stupid. Like it just became less important. And then meanwhile, you look over at the TBS championship and Cargill's going 50-0. And it's just more marketable. It just looks better. I don't know. I personally enjoy watching watching it more, but
No, and I completely agree. And it's an interesting question because the other thing also, we see the TBS title. You guys said it; it's more prominent. We don't see the AEW Women's Championship on TV that much. And one
I
more
think
thing,
it's the type of champion that holds it as well.
I did not know
Yeah,
that.
she did. You're right. Yeah, Statlander did have a lot of defenses,
which is good because to me, it's better than what Roman Reigns is doing right now with his title. But that's another story for another day. But no, I think realistically, you look at what Julia Hart's doing. It's going to be interesting. You got the World's End show coming up the end of December, right by down here on Long Island. So could we possibly see something with her on there? We'll have to wait and see. But I want to get now to the main event because that was
hold on. John, you got to say what your takeaway was, and Billy, you got to say what your takeaway was.
Go ahead, Ryan.
But I never got the opportunity to do so.
Go ahead.
I got a few actually. It'll be quick. Don't worry.
Okay.
First of all, one of them was Julia Hart winning the title. Thank God, she fucking deserves it. I think, in my opinion, she's one of the more prominent female talents on AEW.
Newly married too, by the way. I forgot to say that. I thought that was pretty cool. Congrats to her. Double.
Yes, Lee Johnson.
Lee Mori.
Not Lee Moriarty.
Lee. What's
Johnson.
his last name?
Johnson.
Johnson? Oh,
yeah.
Sorry. I think we were talking at the same time. I kept missing it.
Yeah, no. Also, the Fatal 4-Way tag team ladder match surprised me. That was actually really solid, in my opinion, with Big Bill and not Collier, Big Bill, and Ricky Starks winning the titles. But again, a very, very good matchup. Obviously, that Texas Death Match, we'll get to in a bit. And also, the main event when my boy MJF regaining the title. Now we can talk about the main event, John.
That was the biggest threat through the entire night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I didn't get a chance to watch it live. Obviously, I was, at Immortal as well. Did they announce the whole thing with Cole during the 0 hour?
So what happened? From what I saw, apparently because during 0 hour, actually MJF, got injured. After defending the tag titles. And then I think it was after the 6-man tag with the Patriarchy, which, by the way, I love the team name, by the way.
I do too.
And also Christian's entrance of the kids singing his theme. Love it.
In their little black turtlenecks.
Oh, that was even better. I think they announced it after that, saying that MJF is not clear to compete. Therefore, your winner and new. And after that, Adam Cole comes out and says, "No, I'm defending the title for my best friend MJF." So they did it on the actual pay-per-view itself.
Yeah.
And then obviously we saw him steal the ambulance because that happens in pro wrestling.
Of course.
And
which also, by the way, interesting fact, I heard this earlier today. Apparently MJF actually did get hurt.
His hip.
They popped his hip back in.
They had to pop his hip back in.
Now when I heard that, I cringed. I'm like, fuck.
Because there was something that he was supposed to go through the announce table or something, and it messed up, so he just decided to do an elbow drop from.
Yep. The elbow drop.
And when he landed on the ground, it popped his hip out. Woo.
I got to give MJF credit. He's really, in the last, I would say probably since the Bryan Danielson feud earlier this year.
8 months ago.
He's really showing everybody that not only can he talk well on the mic, but he can work his ass off in the ring.
I don't think people paid enough attention to the fact that he's always done that. Like, he's showcased now for it, but I think he's always showed that.
But I think it's also how he's been presented.
Yeah. And this, our scumbag thing is awesome. Like,
oh, I love it.
The few people that didn't love to hate him or hate to love him or whatever, I think they jumped on board when he got to this point, He's so lovable.
Well, then there was this one moment in the match that I don't think I've ever seen in wrestling, and that's this one right here.
Oh my God, yeah.
When I saw that I saw that clip on the X, as we have to call it now, and I never thought MJF to be that type of the flippy-do-esque wrestler. But when I saw that move, I was like, wow. That to me was, if I had to say move of the night, it was right there.
He's versatile.
I think the fact that he also cleared the top rope without even touching the top rope and landing that was even better.
Yeah, and even Patrick agrees about that spot. So my
only downfall for that was the ending, because I think, including the three of us, I think we were all expecting the Devil to show up.
But I can't credit to where I heard this theory. I watch way too much crap on YouTube and too many podcasts and blah blah blah. But
we all watch too much crap on YouTube.
Exactly.
Hell,
the one theory that I heard that I love is that you never see the Devil make an appearance when Adam Cole is on TV.
That is true.
And I said, ooh, I like that. I don't know the validity of that. Like, I haven't gone back and looked myself, but that would be interesting.
And it's funny you mentioned a little bit of, like, a few seconds ago that you watch a lot of crap on YouTube. Guess what? We're on YouTube. And speaking of YouTube, make sure to hit the subscribe button to the new ATR network. Hit that little bell icon. Costs you nothing, but it does wonders for us. Where you can see exclusive interviews and past episodes in Around the Rose podcast, again, on the new ATR network.
Good segue there.
Thank you. Now.
Okay, let me ask you.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, so you brought up the whole Devil thing. Do you think we wait for the Devil till at World's End?
Yes. Because that'll be the final image of AEW in 2023.
I mean, doesn't it make sense too? World's End?
It's an interesting thing, but let me ask you guys this now. Since it'll be the end of December, everybody who got released by WWE, their contracts they'll be completely free agent by that point. The no compete clause will be done.
I think from what I heard, I think December 20th is when they're available.
And isn't this show December 29th or 30th? So I'll ask you guys this now. Who do you guys think will end up being revealed as the Devil?
Oh, I know. Oh, I have my picks.
I'm leaning towards Adam Cole now.
I got a couple of people.
But there's no way in hell it's CM Punk. Everybody needs to shut that down right now.
Guys, he's showing up on Saturday at Survivor Series. Let's call it what it is.
I don't know. Who do you think? Ryan? John?
Oh, me. I got a couple. And two of them are actually, if they really want to pull it off, releases. Someone who's here to show the world.
Oh, and Dolph has been backstage. I just saw a picture posted today of him.
And also, I'm thinking it's gonna be some Mustafa Ali guy, because he's bringing back Retribution. He's bringing Retribution to AEW.
Well, it's Retribution's long-term storytelling here.
Yes.
If Retribution's long-term storytelling, I might be losing interest in wrestling.
Why? What are we kidding? Retribution was the greatest faction ever.
In the beginning, it was.
It was kind of intriguing at first.
Oh,
I mean, it was during the pandemic. We needed something.
At first it was, but
Then they took the masks off.
Get into that later. We do got some more comments coming in here. Frankie or Anthony, how he says he thinks it's gonna be Adam Cole. Jen, we're gonna get to the Thanksgiving thing towards the end of tonight's show.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be nice there because she is my sister.
But I feel
We can all be thankful too.
I mean, but you know what? It could be worse. We could. This is gonna be a horrible segue. Unlike a couple people, at least we're not seeing death. Speaking of death, the Texas Death Match.
How long did you think of these puns today? There,
I got a thumbs up for that one too.
Brian. How long did it take you to think of these puns?
30 seconds, actually.
Oh, okay. But yeah, the Texas Death Match.
Can I just say real quick, my vampire loving heart fell in love with Adam Page for like 2 seconds. I was like, he's not going. Oh my God, he's doing it. Oh my God.
Oh, you mean when he decided to be Triple H for 30 seconds?
Well, I was like, I was waiting for Adam Copeland and Christian Cage to run out and be like, yo, is this like the new Brood? What's happening? You know? Gangrel, what happened? But it was so awesome. I didn't expect to see drinking blood, that's for sure. And Triple H in it.
I know AEW has done a few Texas Death Matches, but I think out of all of them, I think this was actually the best one they've ever done.
And mad props to Swerve.
Oh my God.
Did you see the outfit, the gear he was wearing? It was a tribute to Tony Funk.
Mm-hmm.
It was so awesome. And the amount of blood that just gushed out of that man's head.
The spot with the glass on Page's back.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh.
And the fact that we're like, oh, he's gonna dump out tax. It's gonna be tax, you know.
Tax.
And it's broken glass that's like black, like black light bulbs or something.
And let's not forget the greatest entrance in wrestling today. Prince Nana, baby.
I loved it so much.
I'll say this much. It was the modern day version of what ECW was back in the day.
To a T.
I think what also made it so intriguing, this match, was the story going into it.
They did really great in the last couple weeks with the storyline, with making it so personal. I mean, I'm a parent, so I think any parent would immediately be sucked into the story if you're the dude standing in your baby's crib, basically.
I said this to John off camera. The face-off leading into the match on Dynamite with Hangman's promo. Where the fuck has that been hiding? Especially when he mentioned the line, that's why your fiance left you and your kids don't want to deal with you. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Really going at it.
It was good.
But and Ryan, this is one thing we always talk about on the show. That's storytelling right there. That was, you had the fans emotionally invested in the match, and it was great. No, Jenny, I have not drank anything yet. Thank you for asking. But
don't be rude to your sister.
I
said, don't be rude to your sister.
Keep continue, John. Keep continue.
But no, I think with this match, like I said, you had the fans emotionally invested, and you don't see that a lot. Because to me, if you're a wrestling fan and you saw that match, or you knew, what those two can do, you were going into the match with your expectations being high, and I think they went above and beyond.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Which also includes the final sequence, which actually, John, if you have that photo,
yes, I
pull
do.
it up.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The way that ending happened with pretty much Swerve, pretty much literally hanging Hangman.
He's no longer Hangman. He's Hungman.
Causing him to fade out and not answer the count of 10. So now my question to you guys is, what's next? Because I have a theory of where they're going with this.
I don't know. I honestly said that question as soon as it happened. Like, okay, well, this can't be done. So what do they do now? I don't know. What do you think?
I have a theory.
Go ahead.
What was just announced from AEW that'll be taking place for the rest of the year, including World's End?
The Continental Classic, or as I call it, their version of the G1?
Yeah, pretty much. Who's to say that Swerve two scenarios, in my opinion. Either Swerve enters the tournament, round, whatever that shit is, and then win it to elevate his stock, or have him go to the finals. Hangman Adam Page screws him over, and they lead into one final blow off. Maybe bring back a dog collar for Revolution.
Do you really think they need to put those two things together? Like, yes. I think Swerve and Hangman could go on its own. It doesn't need. I don't know.
I think it adds more.
It definitely would keep him more in the spotlight too, because it does feel like a couple times it almost got dropped. Like.
But I feel like with this one, if you have Swerve in this Continental Classic, you have him work his way all the way to the finals, only to be screwed over by Hangman Adam Page. That'll add more fuel to the fire, and then Hangman would be the one introducing the dog collar match, because resembling what happened at this past Saturday with him being hung by a chain.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say that when it comes to Revolution, Hangman finally gets the victory over Swerve, but still not losing the stock, and pretty much doing the same thing with the chain to Swerve as a little bit of a payback.
There's a lot they can go. There's a lot of places they can go with this, and it's good. It's gonna be good.
Swerve's gonna have a title within the first 6 months of 2024. I'm calling it right now.
Oh, I hope.
Whether it's gonna be the world title, or honestly, in my opinion, have him go for the international title.
I want him to be the first. I want him to be world title.
Yeah, I would have to. I think realistically, they have his sights set on going after MJF. I really think that's where they're going with this, because you got to realize, if the whole point with MJF, and there's a reason why I'm bringing MJF back into this, is to make him the baby face and the true baby face, even though we all know he's not the true baby face, you got to give him that right heel. And right now, who's no better of a heel than Swerve Strickland?
Christian.
Well, yes, but I don't think they're having Christian.
But he's not that level, yeah.
How
about his tag partner Samoa Joe?
Oh, well, we're definitely going to have a small program with Samoa Joe next, I think. And then I think Swerve could line up.
And I think that's going to be the matchup at World's End, Samoa Joe versus MJF.
I think so, too.
Oh, probably. I could see if they go with Swerve, I could see something happening probably at Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
In May. Because then if it is Swerve who ends up, but we're also thinking here that MJF is going to be holding the championship going into 2024. You got to also remember, his contract's up the end of the year.
I think that's already signed.
Yeah. They're just keeping it on the down low. Because, wrestling journalists, always try to ruin the fun, but no one's really talking about it.
Hey, one thing I learned with pro wrestling, you never know. I'm just saying.
It's so true.
You never know. And who's to say all of a sudden he doesn't walk out at World's End as World Heavyweight Champion? And it is Samoa Joe. Then I think
I hope not. No offense, but I love Samoa Joe, but the fact that he just dropped the other one, don't give him the world champion.
I could see it happen if they do that. I can almost see him becoming the transitional champion.
Well, I would hope that he's gonna go do TV for a little bit again, because I really want another season of Twisted Metal.
And also, I'm calling it right here at World's End. We finally get the reveal of the devil.
Oh yeah, I think so.
And Ryan, it's gonna be you.
Spoiler alert!
All along, Peterson.
But Billy, you mentioned before about the.
In that case, I'll be choking out Justin Roberts and pulling his off and saying, "It should have been me."
Billy, you mentioned before about Samoa Joe's show that he did on Peacock. How was that show, by the way?
Amazing. I was a huge Twisted Metal fan of I loved the video game back in the day. So when I heard Samoa Joe was involved in it, I was like, what? He's a great sweet tooth. The show was really good. Gruesome, not for kids. But definitely, especially if you are around my age and you played Twisted Metal, it was a fun little retelling of the story.
And I think that show is still on Peacock, if I remember correctly.
I think so. So,
any other takeaways from Full Gear 2023? The Young Bucks acting like a bunch of crybabies. Nothing new. Go on.
I'll tell you right now, I think the whole thing with Will Ospreay doesn't surprise me.
No, it's about time.
I like what he's doing now. I will give
finishing out his stuff.
Because that way, it'll still keep the relationship good.
New Japan,
Considering AEW has that partnership with New Japan.
Yeah. It's the right thing to do.
I mean, the fact he's been there for 8 years. That's fucking insane.
But when they made the big thing, like, oh my God, it's Will Ospreay, I'm like, they've made that way too obvious. If they would have said, Mercedes Moné, okay, I think I would have been sitting here saying, been a little bit more surprised. But because it's Will,
it's a good choice, great choice.
Oh, I'm not taking away from the sign-in. I think the sign-in is great. I'm glad it finally happened. But when they made such a big thing about it, like, oh my God, and I'm like, okay, we get it. It doesn't. To me, it wasn't as much. I really love, and I love everybody sitting there going, "Oh my God, I'm so surprised." I'm like, you see how AEW's been portraying him, and have they been using him the last couple of months?
But I think the surprise is the fact that everybody knows he's so wrapped up with other promotions right now that to officially call him All Elite was like a huge deal. But I think he deserves all the flowers in the world. I popped. I will be wearing my Will Ospreay shirt more often now.
Because John, also you have to think about this. At that time, for the times that he did appear, he technically was still under contract with New Japan, and New Japan loaned him to Tony Khan. But now that once he's done beginning of February, now he's officially under the AEW banner, and also announced that he will be based out of the UK.
So it'll be interesting to see if we actually see him that often then.
No, I think more than likely you will.
I think you'll see him with that Intercontinental.
I could see that.
Oh, I'm calling it right now. Orange Cassidy, Will Ospreay, international title. I'm calling it right now.
Or what? Yeah, what did I call it? I'm sorry, I don't know what I called it.
Actually, no. Spoiler alert. Will Ospreay is Sting's final match.
No, we all know it's going to be Ric Flair.
Woo!
Woo!
Actually, I want to ask you.
Can we mention Ric Flair taking a bump.
Yeah, I don't think anybody thought we'd be saying that in
I
2023.
didn't want to see that. His last match was bad enough for me to like, oh, I'm gonna watch this old man die.
It's gonna be a multi-man match, and he's gonna be. No, I got it. It's a 6-way luchador match. Sting, Ric Flair, Pentagon Jr., Rey Fenix, Commander, and El Hijo del Vikingo. There you go. There's your 6-man.
No, I mean, but they made it way too obvious, and Patrick chimes in here and goes Sting versus.
No.
What? Patrick, it'll be the greatest match.
No, nobody wants that.
I mean, we know John wants that.
It's not that I want that. It's just the way I see them going, because I've said it for a while now. Tony Khan doesn't book like a booker. He books like a fan.
He books like my future husband.
What?
Love you, TK. Hey, girl's got to shoot her shot.
Trying to find a sugar daddy over here.
I just like nerds.
Thank you. Good night.
But no, I mean, I'll say this much. I think Tony Khan, like I said before, to me, when he books, he doesn't marrying for the.
He doesn't book for what?
Hold on, no, I just gotta.
Both.
Married for the money or just for the love of AEW? Yes.
Right, did you just admit right now you want to marry Tony Khan?
I was reading the fucking question, John. Because I read, John.
Right.
As if you're telling me neither of you would marry him if he offered?
If the price is right.
They're just like, you're married to him. That means you basically get anything you want.
So moving on now. AEW Full Gear. Selling
so
cards.
close.
Okay. So if you have nothing to talk about, I think we need to transition into something.
Actually,
requires
Full Gear.
What?
Match of the night.
Oh crap! Texas Death Match all the way.
Yeah. Agreed.
Oh, I would agree about that as well. Apparently, Patrick will take AEW in the divorce.
What do you think? I'm long-term booking my life here, Patrick. All right.
She's booking like a wife.
Speaking about long-term booking, I think there's a pay-per-view happening in Chicago on Saturday.
Yeah, that apparently you have to survive in order to, be victorious. Oh yeah, it's Survivor Series.
Ryan, I know you want to say it, so just finish off the statement.
What?
Survivor Series.
Oh yeah, Survivor Series. War games.
I knew it.
War games.
War games.
Yeah, well, let's go over the card now because
Hold on. I'm going to say this right now. Tony Khan, can you please stop, whatever fucking contract you have with William Regal, can you please take that away for William Regal? That way he can finally show up on Saturday.
I know.
This is War Games. Please. Now.
I'll say this much. I thought Adam Pearce did a good War Games announcement.
No, he did, actually. I will commend him on that.
He did a really good one.
Probably William Regal probably taught him how to yell War Games 101.
But before we get into what's happened on Saturday, I want to get your guys' take on one thing that happened last night on Monday Night Raw in connection to Saturday. And that's the ending. Because I've been seeing mixed things about the ending of Monday Night Raw. And I want to get your guys' take of the announcement of the fifth member.
I love it. I love it because they never really said his name.
Oh,
They were
on.
throwing in.
Come on. They said all of his other names.
I was gonna get to that, Billy.
Children.
Listen, Billy. Don't pull a John and interrupt me, okay?
Children.
Sorry, what?
Yes, man, child. What can I do for you?
Oh, you're going to be man? Oh, just wait till next week. Wait till next week.
All right. So as the adult, carry on.
Yes, thank you. As the adult, I will carry on my statement.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Anyway, yeah, they were throwing in his other references, that Cody Rhodes had a legacy with him, and apparently he's hearing voices in his head, and they all feel like an apex predator. Honestly, I love it. And I know John, I don't know what you're gonna say. Some people will be like, "Oh, but it wouldn't make sense because he wasn't there." Honestly, you really did not need him to be there. You didn't, because no one has seen him in freaking 9 months. And honestly, having him show up,
wish they would have just said his name though. I don't understand.
Because it's WWE, and also they were running out of time because apparently they wanted to make room for another episode of Wipeout.
No, it was that new show.
Oh yeah, the fucking Bella Twins bar hopping bullshit.
Which apparently, by the way,
Nikki.
Barmageddon, whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, by the way, they're not, and when they promoted that show, they never even announced her name.
Oh well. Oh well.
Well, because she's Nikki Garcia now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, shut up! You gotta respect. I know people shit on the Bellas, and I've always been a non-diva girl. But
nope. I have my theory.
I have respect for what the Bellas did for wrestling. So.
Oh, I have 100% respect for them, because I think without them, I think we would have never.
And I love Nikki's theme song, or I love the Bellas theme song.
Yeah, apparently somebody agreed with Ryan on that one.
Thank you.
But Ryan, before we get into the whole thing on the Bella stuff, I'm just gonna say this much. And I know Patrick was saying they used, social media used his name. They announced him in the graphic, which I understand that. But I think you could have had a bigger moment. And by holding up, and I'm going to explain why I said that. When they announced his name, I really thought also you were going to hear Red Theory being played. Because what people don't remember, the arena they were in last night, which was Grand Rapids, I think in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Yep, Grand Rapids, yep.
It was I think it was 9 months to the day from when Orton made his last appearance on TV, was in the same arena. I thought when they said, also you were going to hear him, they were going to come out the whole 9 yards. But if you want to make a bigger moment, you could have waited till Saturday. Had it be, had Drew be announced as the 5th guy for Judgment Day. Also, you get to the War Games match. You got Cody, you got Jay, Seth, and Sammy. And also it's like, okay, they're going down, they're going down. And then that's when you play his music. And then that's when you make the reveal. That place would have become unglued.
I mean, are they worried about not getting enough viewers or something? Like, I think Randy will definitely make people tune in, but
I think that's probably one of the reasons why they did it.
It's especially older fans, like not older fans, but fans that aren't, that like the older product. Yeah, they know Randy Orton,
but also having him not show up
and thinking about, oh wait, I'm about to go watch something with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes in 2023.
Yeah,
I'm just saying it just to kind of get a bigger pop, but. My whole thing is this, though. I'm just surprised we didn't see him, though, last night. Because I did read something. He was backstage. So I'm surprised he didn't, come out.
But what would have been the point of him coming out, though? I don't understand.
To get the pop?
No! And plus, you heard the reaction when Cody was jumping the hints. You didn't need him to come out for the fucking pop. They were doing it for him already.
I just think you could have waited. I think you could have, that's just my opinion. I think you could have waited until Saturday to do the whole announcement.
But how about this for a little swerve? Because you're also in a little town called Chicago.
Swerve.
Hey. Who's to say? Obviously, God, I hope this isn't true. But if it is true, I actually just thought of a perfect scenario of how to bring a certain individual back.
Go on.
As, Orton enters, War Games. all of a sudden you get all of a sudden, like towards the end, apparently, because I think they pulled this in 2007. There's a camera guy. There's a camera guy inside the cage. Who's to say that the cameraman knocks out Orton and does the GTS? He takes off the mask and it's CM Punk, pretty much costing them the match and having Judgment Day become victorious. Judgment Day and Drew McIntyre victorious, thus leading, reigniting the feud of Orton and Punk from 11 years ago, because Punk could still be holding that grudge when he was world champion. And if you remember, Orton knocked him out before the match even started, costing him the title match. So this is kind of his way of que sera, sera.
God bless you.
It's Italian.
Yeah.
Que sera, sera.
There you go.
I have another theory.
I hope him not coming back is true, but if it is, I think that would actually be me personally, a good way to reignite that feud.
I got another one. Since we're going down this road about Punk, go back to Monday Night Raw. Shinsuke Nakamura cut the promo, saying something to the where are you now type of deal.
Yeah.
He's also been using the GTS move a lot.
Here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna call this right now. He's gonna come out, issue an open challenge. All of a sudden you hear you hear, cult of personality. Then it transitions over into Grayson Waller's theme. Grayson Waller being the biggest fucking troll out there.
I'd love it.
I could see.
But that does just kind of make Grayson Waller MJF. MJF already did that, didn't he? Or no, maybe I thought he was going to do that or something. I don't know.
He didn't. He didn't do that.
I thought he was going to.
And last thing I was going to say on Punk, who's to say it's going to be cult of personality? Could be his first theme.
What? Bring back Kill Switch Engage?
You don't think that would get a? I think personally, if you hear that being played, and we haven't heard that song in probably
12 years. 12 years.
12 years. I think that would get a bigger pop than anything. Again, folks, we're just speculating right now, but let's keep things moving here because I want to get into this card because I think it's one of the better Survivor Series cards in a while.
Before we get into the card, I want to say this one last thing on Monday Night Raw. I love fucking heel Drew right now. I love it.
My thing is this. I'm curious. I'm hoping they change his character up a bit, his entrance, something like that.
I love what he said about Rhea Ripley gave me the one thing no one else could. She gave me Jey Uso in a steel cage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's gonna be much help to anybody else in that match. I think he's just gonna he's just gonna be right at Jey the entire time.
Absolutely.
Here's an interesting thing.
And we can all say, thank you, Mommy. Yeah, right?
To be honest, the Survivor Series match, especially the last few that they've done over the years, kind of been lackluster. I'm being straightforward, honestly.
David Gold checks us out tonight. Hey, David, thank you for catching us tonight.
What's up, David?
Kiss
I'm sorry,
ass.
what's up, Mr. Gold?
Kiss ass. Just kidding, David. What's going on, man? But yes, Survivor Series, War Games.
Well, before we get into that, I just want to go into a little bit of the history of Survivor Series. Do you guys realize how many debuts we've seen at Survivor Series?
A lot.
more than I think, and I try to rack my brain on this quickly. I think the most of any of, I'm talking about the big four.
Definitely
I'm
more.
not talking, yeah, I would say, no, I think the Rumble might come second. I think it would be Survivor Series 1, the Rumble 2. I think Mania would be 3, and SummerSlam would be 4.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, Survivor Series, we saw The Rock's debut. We saw, I'm trying to remember here now. Taker. I think Kurt Angle also debuted.
I think so.
At Survivor. And we're also forgetting about Sting. Sting debuted.
Yay!
A lot of memorable names have debuted in Survivor Series.
So I think Survivor Series is one of those few, and also the Gobbledygooker.
And also the Golden Egg.
God. You know, I actually got that as a memory from, was that last year's?
2 years ago, because I saw it in my Facebook memories because I was there live for that.
Yeah.
It was a celebration of 25 years of The Rock in WWE, and he wasn't even there.
Well, he was promoting that movie he was in.
He wasn't there.
Yeah, he showed up a few years later. But actually, when we get, later on in the show, I'm going to also explain a little bit why today's a significant day for this podcast. But I'll get to that later on.
I actually need to run for a few minutes. I might be able to come back, but I have to go take a phone call real quick.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Sorry, yeah, but I might be back. I will message you guys in a minute. If not, hi guys.
Okay then.
All right, I'll be back.
All right. Again, guys, that was Billy. Okay. Because also, I don't know if you noticed, by the way, no names on our thing tonight.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I was trying some stuff differently, but I
like it like this.
Let's keep things moving here because, God, this pay-per-view on Saturday looks on paper fan-fucking-tastic.
I think one of the better Survivor Series in a long time.
Let's start off with the IC title match. The Miz versus Gunther.
Honestly, it's gonna be a good matchup, especially after last night with basically the Miz and Gunther staring down, doing the stare down, pretty much showcasing, Miz being a potential worthy opponent.
Oh, I'll say this right now. If they go that route and have Miz have Gunther drop the belt to Miz on Saturday, I would not be against it.
No, I wouldn't be either.
Because I think at this point, I know Gunther came out and said this a couple weeks ago that he feels he's outgrown the IC title, and I agree with him. I think he has.
Well, yeah, he's had it for almost a year and a half.
Yeah, and I think you put it on somebody like The Miz. I don't think that, and I know there's gonna be somebody who's gonna sit there and say, "Oh, you're gonna have Gunther drop the belt to Miz. You might as well have just killed Gunther's push."
Nope.
No, you haven't. To me, you look at what Gunther has done with that IC belt, and we've spoken about this on the show plenty of times. He's made that belt extremely prominent.
Oh, yes, he has.
And he has made that belt mean something. And you have him drop it, I think, arguably to one of the greatest IC champions of the modern era in The Miz. It doesn't hurt Gunther at all. And realistically, I'm going to say this right now. I think Saturday, we get a new IC champion.
A little bit of upset there. Okay.
Because I think it sets up Gunther for the Rumble. But what about you? Gunther or Miz?
I think Gunther retains. Because I have a very odd feeling Gunther's going to lose the title on like one of the final SmackDowns of 2023.
To me, I like I said, I see what you're saying with that, with him dropping the belt on one of the last. But to me, it's like you would waste a moment like that on free TV.
End the year with a bang.
But I agree with you.
Or if they do it on the first SmackDown of 2024.
I agree, and I get what you're saying, but for that big of a moment to have somebody dethrone the longest reigning IC champion, I think that's more worthy to be on a pay-per-view or a premium live event.
Nope. Because Gunther won the title on a SmackDown.
Yes, but
also, I'm going to use your terms on it. Him losing that in the premium live event, it's too predictable. Where if you have him losing on a SmackDown or a Raw, it's not predictable at all because you never know.
Oh, apparently he is on Raw.
Oh, he is on Raw. Okay, so have him lose it. Have him lose it on Raw.
Thank you, Mark.
That's not predictable at all. Because again, John, you have to understand. Again, if you do it on a premium live event or pay-per-view, it's very predictable because it's a big thing. But if you do it on a random Monday Night Raw, as they always say, expect the unexpected. Nobody would have expected him to lose. No one would have expected him to lose the title. It would be a shock value and have people tune in.
Yes, but here's why I'm saying I think you should wait to do it on a premium live event, though.
Because it's a big thing. I understand, John, but you gotta look at the bigger picture here. Don't look at the numbers. Look at the bigger picture here.
Oh no, I'm not saying. What I'm saying is this. I think you have him drop it on a premium live event. That would get more people interested in the following Raw.
No, especially with what's been going on with Imperium right now. With a certain Ludwig von Kaiser getting a little hot-headed.
Oh, they've been. I've said it for a while. I think we're seeing dissension within Imperium,
and it showed a lot more last night.
Yeah, but I think everybody can agree. Everybody who's watching and all that stuff. I think you look at the three of them. Obviously, we know Gunther's a star. Kaiser to me is a star, is the next level star.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the bald-headed guy, as it was coined a couple months ago by Sami Zayn, Giovanni Da Vinci, I don't see him being a star. Unfortunately, and I hate to say this, I think when the time comes for Imperium to finally break up, I think Da Vinci is going to fall in through the cracks, so to speak. And I hate to say it because I think the guy has the look, but the way he's presented, the only thing I can think of when that time happens, because we all know that's going to happen eventually, maybe send Giovanni Da Vinci back down to NXT.
I would actually be okay with that, honestly.
I think that would be the only thing you can use to keep him, because if you don't put him down in NXT, he's just it's going to be, okay, he's another wrestler. There's nothing about him. You look at Gunther, he has the fact that he doesn't have, you notice with Gunther, he doesn't have the finisher per se. It's not like with Cena when he has the AA, or Rock with the rock bottom, or Stone Cold Steve Austin with the stunner. Gunther has 50 different finishers.
Yeah, again, it's, with Gunther, his arsenal is unpredictable.
You look at somebody like Kaiser, he has the look. Let's call it what it is.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he was chiseled out of gold. But then you look at Da Vinci and it's like, okay, what does he have to bring to the table? That's the question I leave with you guys. What does he have to bring to the table?
But let's continue on with Survivor Series and actually not talk about the men's War Games match, but I want to talk about the women's War Games match.
Can I tell you right now, I'm not looking forward to that match at all.
Why not?
Because I'll say on paper, I think it's going to be a great match. I'm not taking that away from it.
Mm-hmm.
But my interest level, and I'm not saying it's because I think any of the women are bad. I think they're all great women. I have more of an interest in the men's than the women's. Because I feel like the women's was put together last minute because WWE sat there and said, oh shit, we got to put together another War Games match. Let's put the women from SmackDown together. Because, and I say it like this. You look at, obviously you got Damage Control on one team. The other team you got is Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair, Becky Lynch, and Shotzi Blackheart. And I said this to you off air. Shotzi, to me, seems like the odd person out.
Yes and no, because Shotzi has had a history with Damage Control. And I think also especially with what's been teasing on, especially with what was teased on this past Friday on SmackDown, who's to say that Team Damage Control, the Damage Control foursome does not come out victorious, and you have Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane turn on Bayley, putting the blame on her.
I would go a step further. I think not only do they turn on Bayley, but I think they also turn on Dakota Kai.
Both of them. That's I think both of them.
And
maybe actually maybe turn Bayley face again, because she's been face for
heel
4 or 5 years now. I mean, heel for like 4 or 5 years now.
I think she started off as a heel when WWE started on SmackDown. WWE started on Fox.
Yes. Yeah, we're going on 4 years of her being a heel. I think it's time for her to actually be a babyface again.
Oh no, I completely agree.
Obviously not bring back the hugger gimmick. No.
No, I couldn't. But let me ask you this now. Right now,
as someone just agreed with me.
At 9, whatever time it is right now, who do you got winning that? Damage Control or Charlotte, Becky, and their team?
That team.
Yeah, that one I would have to agree with, because I think this furthers the eventual end of Damage Control and the start of the Japanese heel women group.
Let's call it what it is. It's this generation's Kai and Tai.
Yeah, but a little bit better.
Yeah, because also if you really think about it, we kind of can see a little tease of a breakup for Damage Control in a while, because it seemed like Bayley was talking for Io.
Yeah, but now they're finally letting her kind of they're kind of letting her be her now.
And also, I love Kairi Sane.
Oh no, I love the fact she's back.
I'm not gonna lie, the pirate gimmick was going on way too damn long.
But let's keep things moving here, as we also have Rhea Ripley defending her title as she takes on Zoe Starks.
As much as some people would say Zoe, Rhea's retaining the title, because we all know what's gonna happen.
They're setting up, I think, and tell me if I'm wrong here, they're setting up Rhea Becky at Mania
in Philly. Yes. Yeah. And that will be fucking insane.
There's a possibility some of us might be there.
Maybe. But no, but I think Zoe Stark might be, a decent opponent for Rhea.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that I did not expect her to win that battle royal. I didn't expect. I was hoping it was going to be Shayna Baszler. That way we can see Rhea Shayna again.
You know, I actually wouldn't mind seeing it, because I think she's incredibly underrated.
Oh.
I wouldn't mind seeing Chelsea Green.
Honestly, I think she's doing okay right now as a tag champ.
Oh, I agree that she's doing well as a tag champion.
Which also, by the way, half of Raw last night actually had women's wrestling on it.
Oh, compared to last week when I saw some posts?
Yep.
You saw the post, right? Where there was no... When I saw that, I was like, you've got it. I wish Billy was still on. I would get her take on it.
But no, especially last night, because first you had Raquel and Nia, which actually was a decent match.
Hmm?
You had the four-way tag number one contender match, which was actually really solid. And we saw, I think it was Natalya and Tegan Nox become the number one contenders.
Well, they've been teasing something with Natalya and Chelsea for a while now.
Yeah.
Especially when Natalya dresses up as Chelsea Green's husband, Cardona.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I think today is the anniversary of his hit single.
Yep.
Is it today or was it yesterday?
I think it was yesterday, actually.
Oh, well, happy anniversary, Matt.
Happy anniversary to the Hosky.
Such a cheeky video, but God, it gets the point across.
That was 12 years ago, or was it 10? Anyway, anyway, I got Rhea regaining the title. What do you got?
I got Rhea retaining. It's that, like I said, they're setting up for Becky Rhea in Philly in a couple months, and what they're essentially doing the same thing with Rhea that they're doing with Roman. They're playing it safe with Rhea till we get to Philly.
Until we get that big moment.
Because realistically, you could have done any of the other women, but then you run the risk of not getting Rhea Becky.
Yeah.
So I think WWE for right now, especially with those two top titles, the Universal title and the Women's title, I think WWE is going to play it safe with them, with both of those belts, till we get to Philly in April.
I agree. Now, was there any other matches besides the men's War Games, or was that it?
Wasn't Santos Escobar?
Oh, I forgot about this one. Santos Escobar and Carlito, which honestly, that's gonna be fucking good if done correctly.
Oh yeah. Let me keep talking because I want to see if I can pull up the card.
So, for those that don't know what's been happening, Santos Escobar turned on Rey Mysterio. You know, saying he got an amazing promo on Friday night, saying that I wish something about I wish they amputate your leg. I'm like, what the fuck, man? There was a whole spiel when and then it ended up being that somehow transitioned into Santos versus Carlito.
Oh, that's because Ray is out right now.
Yeah, Ray's out with a legitimate injury.
For I think from what I saw, I think it's 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So who do you see winning this one?
Oof. Honestly, give me Santos because I have a feeling what they're gonna do.
Okay.
Because someone else actually mentioned this. That's right. I'm like, what? Mention this. You have obviously Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza still part of the LWL.
Yes.
Who's to say though? And not have them join, Santos Escobar. Because there are two other individuals that I think Santos can quote unquote bring in and mentor them just like what they did with Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza.
Oh.
Los Lotharios.
I've heard that theory out there before. I think I read something that supposedly there's been some internal talks about bringing them in to side with Santos Escobar.
For those that don't know, that's Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. Now imagine those three, and Wild, Mendoza, and Carlito as the other three.
Well, I personally think where this whole thing is leading to eventually is I think we're getting Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio at Mania.
I wouldn't say Mania. Rumble.
I think a lot of it also depends on how Ray's doing with the recovery with the knee.
Exactly.
But I just think the Rumble, because I just think Mania, you give Santos his Mania moment. And I know WWE has been very big on trying to build that next Latino star.
Mm-hmm.
Why not have that be a Mania? Have it almost be a passing of the torch.
But again, like you said, it all depends on what happens with Ray at that point.
Oh yeah, well that's also the thing is Ray's not young anymore. And to turn around and sit there and say, oh, he'll be back in 68 weeks. How the hell does anybody know that?
Exactly.
But I think for this one,
and I got Santos winning.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Give me Santos for that one.
And before we talk about the men's War Games match, I do want to say this. I am emotionally invested in Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce as general managers.
Oh, I think they've both done a fantastic job.
I think it's about fucking time they got like legitimate general managers.
Here's my booking right here. Aldis Pearce Mania. Winner becomes the ultimate GM for both brands.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
Watch, also now it's gonna happen. You're gonna get somebody. You're gonna get somebody in Titan Towers going, "Hey, Hunter, I can't do the Stooge thing, but be like, hey, Hunter, I was listening to these guys around the Ropes podcast. They suggested Nick versus Adam, Ultimate GM. Let's book it."
And also, one final thing before we talk about the men's War Games match that happened on SmackDown. Yeah, that SmackDown crowd did not deserve fucking Dragon Lee and Axiom.
Oh, no, I totally agree.
They did not deserve that because they're going, what the hell is this? Because that match, honestly, was fucking incredible.
But also shows you a lot of people who watch SmackDown don't watch NXT.
They only watch SmackDown, not actual wrestling. Yeah,
exactly.
Because honestly, again, that matchup was fucking incredible. Axiom has always been like one of my favorites in NXT, and Dragon Lee is a fucking icon.
Oh, I completely agree. But let's get into the men's War Games match now because, oof.
Oh God.
I'll tell you right now, I think it's going to be Judgment Day team winning.
I'm sticking with my theory. I think, it's going to be a screwy finish at the end.
I mean, when Billy was on here before, she made the comment, I agree with her. Drew is going to be gunning for Jay.
Oh, yes.
He's going to be gunning for Jay big time.
But also, did you notice Jay's face when Cody was dropping the Orton references?
Uh-huh. That's why I said it. He did very good at it with continuity. Ow.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, I still think it's going to be Team Judgment Day.
I think so too.
Because they are pushing them to the moon.
Oh, yes.
But do you think we get any surprise matches between now and Saturday?
Surprise what?
Matches.
What, like filler matches?
Yeah.
No.
You don't think they go with the Nakamura thing?
That's probably the only thing.
I still hold my prediction. And I want this to be on the record, so anybody who's watching this can know I said it here. If Nakamura opens an open challenge, my prediction, that's where we get Punk.
But in reality, Waller.
Oh, probably. But Ryan, want to make a little bit of a transition here.
Sure.
From pro wrestling. Because I made the tease before that today is actually a significant day for this podcast. Can you just take a shot in the dark and and figure out what I'm talking about?
Does it have to do with the number 2?
Yes.
What? Oh, I get it. It's the 2-year anniversary of the Around the Ropes podcast.
Yeah, today is the actual day. Because what's funny is you mentioned the golden egg before. And I remember that was our first ever show, was that Survivor Series. And this show has made it to 2 fucking years.
But as you see, folks, we're not celebrating it tonight because we had all this stuff. But next week, though,
well, we'll get more into that in a second. But Ryan, what's your thoughts on the fact? Well, I'm just finish up with this stuff because I want to get to the. What's your thoughts on the fact that we've made it for the 2 years?
Well, considering I was brought in a year and a half ago, if you really think about it.
Yes, and I would like to mention one thing because she's going to be a pain in the ass to me if I don't mention this. You saw this behind me. Ow. But I was going to wait till next week. But this printing right here. I don't know if you guys can see the whole thing.
John, move back a little bit. There you go.
That's the painting. Obviously,
raise it up a little higher. There we go.
Are you just there so you don't see my face?
No, I'm actually being serious because it was cutting out like half. It was cutting out on half.
But yeah, this was done. Obviously, anybody who's been watching the show knows who Max and Rex were. They were part of the extended family, so I just want to make this acknowledgement right now. But go on, Ryan, with what you're saying.
Again, we're not celebrating this week. No, because next week we got a monster episode of the Around Roads podcast because it is the 2-year anniversary celebration / the live roast of Mr. Jonathan Neil Blaine.
Yes.
And oh boy, I got a few surprises lined up.
But going back to the, did you think obviously we brought you in midway towards
Was May.
Apparently a few people can't wait.
And who might that be? Jumbo Man. Yeah, the guy who fucking booed me on Sunday.
My sister.
Oh, God. Huh?
Burn him.
That's not what it says on the screen.
Well, it's Jumbo Man. What do you expect?
I'm going to keep my mouth shut on that one.
Yes, Jed Santarelli Blaine.
I'm not playing anymore.
Oh, God.
That was the Jack and Coke doing it. That sounds like a horrible move, if you know what I mean.
Moving on. But obviously, we brought you in midway towards our first anniversary.
No.
Yeah, we brought you in May.
Yeah, a year and a half ago.
Yeah, and then we were at the 1-year anniversary that November.
I was in before that, dude.
Okay, then I mixed up my dates there. But
yeah, it did. You brought me in. Here's what happened. You brought me in for an interview, and then apparently it went so well that I decided to come back in a little trial period, and then became full time.
And it was a top 10 list that we brought you in for.
Top 10 tag team.
Yeah, I still remember that video, by the way.
So do I.
But yeah, I mean the names of the people who have been on the show is a plethora of people.
And how apropos it happened. All those names that happened to appear after I come on.
Yeah, a lot of them were because of you, dude. I'm not going to take that away from you. You have been. I know we always bust each other's chops about it.
Of course.
But no, you've been a huge part of the show. I want to just briefly thank some people who have helped get the show to where it's gotten to. Obviously, you're the first one. Also want to thank a former co-host of the show. He isn't a part of the show anymore, but I want to thank Costa. Costa was somebody who was an OG. He was on that first show we did 2 years ago with myself, him, and another individual by the name of Nick Alvarez. So I want to thank him. Actually, speaking about Nick, I want to thank Nick, him, and the SLG network. Yes, I'm putting them over right now.
I'm listening.
Because yes, with us being where we are, yes, we've gotten to this point because of the work we've put in. But if Nick and Calvin don't give me the green light 2 years ago, we're not sitting here tonight. So I want to thank them. I want to thank all the guests we've had on the show. I mean, it's a who's who. A lot of the independent guys have been on the show. We've had on guys like Mark Henry. We've had on guys like Barry Horowitz, Larry Zbyszko. I feel like we've had on every ring announcer in the state of New York and New Jersey. For the most part.
For the most part, yeah.
I also want to thank the promotions who have welcomed us into their family and has kind of helped elevate this show, including, Titan Championship Wrestling, Immortal Championship Wrestling, Dynasty, I'm trying to think here, Invictus, when they were still around. Trying to think here, Ace. And of course I gotta give props to Anthony Cole and Bray, because they were the first promotion that really was working with us.
Magic.
Yeah, and Pro Wrestling Magic as well. Also there's another person I do want to thank. Unfortunately, she's not on the screen right now. Oh yeah, SWF. But I also want to thank Billy. Yes, she's become a good friend of ours, but also a good friend of the show. But she's also become sort of a sounding board. Because when it comes to her, because she's not in the trenches, so to speak, of the show, I'll still bounce ideas off of her. I'll turn around and say, oh, what do you think of this? Or how did you think? Because I always want to look at it. I always want to get the perspective of somebody from the outside. Because I know, Ryan, you and I always joke about, you always joke that you think, I know everything. But I don't. And there may be some times where I'll sit there and say something, and then somebody will turn around to me afterwards and say, you shouldn't have said that, or why did you do that? And from the outside perspective, and Ryan, I'm saying from the outside perspective because I consider you in the trenches with me. It's a very wide trench, by the way. We'll get both of us in there.
Go on.
But I just think, her being the soundboard and her also hopping on the couple of times she's hopped on. So I'm internally grateful for her. I'm internally grateful for everybody who has been on this show. I also want to thank, and Ryan, you know this guy very well, Orlando from 94 Through the Shark. Orlando was the first guest we ever had on the show 2 years ago. And it's just, like I said, it's been a who's who. And this isn't me saying goodbye. This isn't me saying, what I'm just saying is this, and I think I can speak for Ryan on this. The biggest thing I think we both thank is you, the fans. Because for you guys tuning in every week, subscribing to us on YouTube, following us on Facebook, buying, hold on one second, being a supporter of the coffee, which is brought to you by our friends over at Motor Oil Coffee. We're not here without you guys. So I think from the bottom of my heart and from Brian as well, we want to thank you guys. Because without you guys, We're not sitting here. We're not putting the work in every week. The graphics you see, the thumbnails, the background stuff, all that stuff. We're not sitting here every week busting our ass if it wasn't for you guys. Ryan, anything else you want to add before we get to our Thanksgiving talk?
Nope, I'm good.
And then it looks like we got... Oh. Apparently I have to thank my family too.
Thanks, family. Now we'll move on.
Mark actually wants to put us over. Mark, I appreciate that a lot, man.
Well, considering Merc, I've known you for a long time as well.
But I want to end tonight's show on a positive note. Not a sappy, sad note. A positive note. I'm not saying sappy because that was sappy, but
move on.
Everybody's favorite holiday is coming up. And that is
New Year's.
Thanksgiving.
Ow, I was off.
Yeah, by a couple months.
1 month.
John, you have come a long way. You do an awesome graphic job. Thank you, Jenny. I appreciate that a lot. I know I bust your chops to saying you're a pain in my ass because you are. But moving on.
What can you do? But now, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. This Thursday.
Saying that.
Yeah, it's scary to think. But before we get into, some of the favorite, what is one thing you are thankful for? Either in wrestling as a wrestling fan or in your personal life.
I got definitely one career and one personal.
Okay.
Career wise, I'm thankful for obviously the promoters I worked with or currently work with for still giving me the opportunity to go in and do what I do, which is announcing, especially in the last 12 years of my life, which is still insane. I've been doing this for so long. Especially with Immortal and Creator Pro this past weekend, basically being shows number 40 and 41 for me for 2023, which is insane for me to think that. As well as thanking the fans for continuing to show support towards me, especially for those that keep calling me Sexy Ryan, which by the way, merch will be coming out 2024 if anyone's interested. But personally, this one's gonna get a lot emotional right now, especially with everything that I've been dealing with for the last couple months. And John, you know exactly what I'm referring to.
Yeah, no, I completely do.
Without the support of like you as well as a bunch of other people, honestly, had you guys not been there for me, I would not be here right now, if you know what I mean. So I'm very thankful and very grateful for that.
No, I believe me, dude. You know damn well I got your back. through thick and thin, through everything. I think for me, I got a feel. So just bear with me on this one for a couple minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think from a career perspective, yeah, I'm not where I thought I'd be right now. But I am, I'm happy. I think realistically, apparently Mark has something to say to you, Brian.
Oh shit, he does.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Mark, if you want to write in there, you can, or you can private message Ryan later.
Oh, I thought he sent it in the
No, he just says, Ryan, I got something. I got to say something to you, buddy.
Oh boy.
I think that there's two biggest proponents that I'm forever grateful for. Obviously, one of them are my two dogs, Max and Rex. for being a part of my life for 15 years, and for being, you know, two of the best dogs I can ever ask for. The other one is actually, Ryan, is yourself and Billy. And I've said this to both of you already. In the last year, you know, you guys, I mean, everybody kind of knows, you know, everything I've been through. And I've made the changes, trust me. I've had a lot of people over the years stab me in the back, sit there and say, "Oh, I got your back, don't worry about it, yada, yada, yada." But you guys are different. For different reasons. You guys and somebody said this to me a couple of weeks ago, and I think it's the perfect way I can put it. You guys both have the best interest for me, and want me to be happy, want me to be successful, and want me to be in the right frame of mind. Because let's call a spade here. There's been a few moments, especially in this year, where I haven't been in the right frame of mind. So I say this from the bottom of my heart. I'm forever grateful and thankful and appreciative for you and for Billy. I know there's times where you guys want to hit me in the back of the head. Oh boy.
Okay. Crap. I'm gonna read this out loud. From when I first seen you at Ace, you were a great announcer, but I want to say you came a long way as an announcer, a great person with a good heart that would be there for anyone. I just want to say I'm here for you, and you will always have me as a friend. Merc, I truly appreciate you, dude. And that's I think I met him 7, 8 years ago, I think. I've known him for a while. I think back, Merc, if I'm not mistaken, I think that was when Wallington officially became the Morgan Jr. Arena. That's how long I've known you for. But anyway, John, continue.
But like I said, like I said this before, you know, with you and Billy, you guys have. Oh, what do you say? Yes, it was.
Yeah. Okay. So it was that long ago.
But like I said, you know, you guys, the two of you have been there through a lot of the shit I've dealt with. And like I said, I am forever thankful, grateful, and honored to call both of you good friends of mine. And two people that I know have my back no matter what. Like I said, I know there's some moments where you guys want to kind of hit me in the back of the head for something I say stupid.
Oh, yes.
But I think, like I said, you made the comment before, Ryan, about you wouldn't be here if it wasn't for friends. I've said it before. I wouldn't be in the position I'm in right now and the mindset I'm in right now if it wasn't for you and for Billy pushing me in that right direction. So, guys, that's what we were thankful for 2023. Let us know in the comments below what you were thankful for in 2023. Ryan, do you have anything you'd like to plug before we get out of here?
I do actually. I got 3 more events lined up for 2023. Shit. December 9th, I'm back in Bayshore, New York with Victory Pro Wrestling as they present their final event of the year. And from what I've seen on the card, it looks fucking sick. Also on December 14th, it's the final Cap TV taping of 2023. So if you're interested in that, make sure to follow Creative Pro Wrestling on all of their social media accounts to reserve a spot, because trust me, you don't want to miss out on Cap TV. And then on December 29th, my final event of 2023, it is WrestlePro live from Union, New Jersey. Originally, this was supposed to happen this coming Sunday in Rahway, but unfortunately, they had to move it to December 29th. And unfortunately, it's not going to be in Rahway because the building's going to be in use. So we're doing it in Union, but it's going to be a full-scale pay-per-view like normal. So when tickets go on sale for that event, I highly recommend you getting your ticket, and because the building has a strict capacity of 350, not 351, not 352, 350 even. So get it while you can, or you're shit out of luck. Just saying.
We do got one person who chimed in with what they're thankful for. My sister says she's thankful for my brothers. I'm so honored. Yeah, those two pesky dogs that we had. But again, guys, you can catch her at any of these shows coming up. As far as me, obviously, let me go back to said graphic for a second. You can catch me in the ring, actually, on December 9th at Titan Championship Wrestling and Chosen Pro Wrestling as they present the Aftermath, the final fight. All the information is right there. Obviously, you can see it's celebrating 2 years of this podcast. But I think we have another comment coming in. Oh. I am so shocked, Jenny. I am so shocked. But, so we got that coming up December 9th. As far as where else I will be, I'm not sure yet. Do want to plug one other show because she was on earlier. She will be I think she'll be the backstage correspondent. I'm not sure. Billy, if you're watching this, you can message me later and yell at me if you want. But Dynasty presents their next show December 9th called Mall Brawl 2. As you can see on there, you got Fox Vineyard, Joey Conway, Wayno, Vic Hale, and the aforementioned Brother Jonas. So I think, if memory serves me right, we'll be in action that night against High Voltage Omar. Sergeant Fury's on the card. It looks like Christina Marie's on the card.
It's Christina Marie, as well as the returning Ali Rex, and also the Green Machine, Mike Orlando.
So definitely go to purplepass.com for your tickets for Dynasty. They're going to be up in Amsterdam for this show. So you're not going to want to miss it. And then I think their next show is not till, I think, the middle of February, from what I saw. Because who the hell runs a show in the middle of January? There's potential for 4 feet of snow outside. Don't worry, folks. There's been some promoters who have done that.
Yep.
But Ryan, what do we got coming up next week?
Oh yeah, it's the live roast of John Blaine where we're gonna roast his nuts on the air.
And guys, I appreciate everybody who's watched tonight. Brian, another great show as always. I want to thank Billy for hopping on for a little bit. It's great to always have her on the show. But guys, guess what?
Shut up, bitch!
Wrong one.
We were doing so well.
Wrong one. What I meant to play was this one.
Smell you later. Smell you later.
Talk to you guys later.